What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to another episode. So for this one, things are going to look a little bit different. So I'm just getting ready to work out. I'm actually going to do a garage workout mic'd up today. We'll see how that goes. So to start, I just wanted to show what I take kind of as my pre-workout right now. So I do 2 capsules of the rhodiola. I've been doing 1 capsule of L-tyrosine. I've been doing 2 capsules of just some Siberian ginseng, a scoop of taurine, a scoop of creatine, and then if I have caffeine, it's usually just coffee. So I've got a cold brew coffee as well. So I'm going to take this, get changed into my workout gear, and I will see you in the garage. All right, so we are in the garage, about to get this workout started. So I'm going to show you my routine. So I'm going to switch things up a little bit because I've been lifting very heavy lately for low repetitions. And I kind of want to transition to higher reps. So I'm going to be doing a lot lower weight, focusing on time under tension, really feeling the muscle working, and go for as many reps as I can. I mean, I'm not going to push to failure, but my goal is 12 to 15 reps. Today is a leg day, so that's always fun. It's going to be starting as usual with some squats, but I'm going to do some warm-up stuff because it is freezing in here. I got the little space heater, but it doesn't do a whole lot. And I also just realized that I forgot to change my shoes. So these are what I'm currently rocking, but I'm going to change into my actual workout shoes. So I will see you in a second. All right, so I'm going to talk you through my warm-up. I do have to wear gloves today because it is freezing and this bar is cold, but we will get started. So first thing I do is front and back leg swings, and then I also do side-to-side leg swings. I don't know why, but I've always just always done 8 reps each leg for each motion. So front and back. All right, so leg swings are done. So now I get into like a lunge position. So kind of drop down, have my knees slightly off the ground, and I'll show you from the front. So I'm in this position, and what I do is just some rotations of the knee and the hips. So we're going counterclockwise. Usually I do 8. All right, that is it for the warm-up. Now we're going to start doing some actual warm-up sets. Like I said, going to be starting with the back squat, and then we'll kind of work up in a little bit of weight. I swear, because it's cold in here, everything feels so much heavier, but we will endure. I really didn't feel like going to the gym today as well. I'm still feel very awkward about filming in the gym, So I wanted to kind of film a workout where I more so am explaining the exercises that I'm doing a little bit more informative for you. And yeah, I typically don't listen to music too often. I tend to listen to like audiobooks. So since I got some company, I'm going to just be zero music, zero audiobook, so that you guys can get the full audio during my sets. So I'm gonna just start. Okay, so we are really switching things up today. Honestly, usually I squat outside of the rack, just because I find that this feels much more confined, but because I wanted to get a good view for you guys, I'm going to be inside the rack, and I'm also facing that way. Usually I'm facing the wall over here, but let's get it done. So again, this is a warm-up set. Warm-ups, I don't typically like to do high repetitions just because I don't want to fatigue myself just doing these light sets. I'd rather do all of the actual exhaustive work when I'm actually using my working set weight, but we'll see how it goes. I'm still feeling a little cold, so start squatting and warm up. All right, so warm up set one, just the bar, just a nice constant tempo. I didn't slow it down too much, just kind of smooth motion. So up, down, up, down. Those felt pretty good. That being said, when I came in here, there was a 45 on each side, and I cleaned it to throw it up on the rack. It felt so heavy, but we will see. I was sick last week, so I didn't work out for the past week. I did my first workout yesterday because I was finally feeling better and I was back to work. So I did that workout, but it was a back workout and it was very light, very low volume, just because I find if I take that week off, I tend to be very sore the next day. So for this, it's going to be a pretty simple workout, probably fairly short. So the plan is I'm going to hit these squats, then I'm going to do some lunges. There's going to be my 2 quad exercises. We'll see how many sets and reps I do. I don't like to put a limit on it, so I don't want to say I'm going to do 3 sets of, say, 12 to 15, because if I'm feeling it, sometimes I'll do more, or if I'm not feeling it, sometimes I might do less and move on to the next exercise and try to gain that connection again. But squats, usually I don't have any issues with connecting to this exercise. So at least 3 sets. We'll see if I end up doing more. And then, like I said, work on the lunges, and then we'll hit some hamstrings, a little bit of calves. That's going to be it for this workout. And as well, so I got my water in the other cup holder of the treadmill, and I'm still sipping on this coffee. So I didn't really feel like I needed an energy boost, but we had got coffee, so I'm gonna sip that while I work out, as well as sip on that water. But I'm gonna try to also change the angles up a little bit throughout the workout, maybe try to zoom in, make it a little bit more exciting for you. But I'm gonna do a second set now. That was actually a pretty long break. Probably shouldn't have break that long, but I got carried up in talking. I'm gonna do a second warm-up set with this because I think my working weight is gonna be just a 45 on each side today, but we'll feel it out. All right. So, I'm going to throw a 45 on each side now. This is not a heavy weight for me, but like I said, working back into it after taking a week off where I was sick. So I imagine my body's gonna get a little beat up, but we will see. And then as well, I wanna work on more tempo, high repetitions. I typically get these urges to do higher reps because I'm so fascinated with bodybuilding. A lot of those guys, they just pump out the reps. Every time I seem to do it though, I go like hypo, and I just feel very nauseous and very just like drained. And then I'm usually useless the rest of the day. But I don't know why I didn't think of this before, but I'm pretty sure it's due to the fact that I try to maintain too much weight. So I sit there with, 275, 315 on the bar, and I'll rep out high reps. But it's a little too high intensity for me right now. So I'm going to slowly build that up. Try to stay consistent with these high repetitions. I tend to always fall back into my regular routine of just like 5 reps max on these big, heavy compound movements like the squat. For more of the accessory work and the like to get a little bit additional volume, I usually don't have an issue with going high repetitions, but comparing a squat to a leg extension, it's definitely a lot more fatiguing for a squat. But yeah, so I do want to work on that conditioning a little bit. And yeah, so we'll see how this set goes. 135 on the bar. My goal is 12 reps, 12 to 15. If it's too light, I'll hit 15. If it feels pretty good and I get a nice pump going, I might cut it at 12. But again, I just want to work on a slower tempo, because before it was much more explosive. As you can see, my setup is pretty much always the same. Take that off, try to take a 2-step back. Oh, stepping out in this cage is just throwing me off, but here we go. So honestly, that felt pretty good. I might slowly ramp it up, throw a 10 on each side. My instincts are telling me to just throw an extra plate on there, but we're gonna do it slow. I'm gonna try to take my own advice this time. I swear. It seems like when I'm coaching people, training clients, I always give out this great advice, and then all of a sudden I go into my workout and I'm completely changing it. So I'm going to try to actually listen to myself this time, but do as I say, not as I do. Get a little bit more of a close-up so you can really see me struggling through this. All right. So set number 2. Here we go. Again, aiming for that 12 to 15. Honestly, even on that last set, like in my mind, I was like, okay, I'm gonna just stop at 10. And I was like, wait, why am I stopping at 10? Because I didn't feel fatigued or anything. Just like that natural instinct where it's like, oh, I'm doing too many reps. But here we go. All right. All right. 155 done. Not gonna lie, like I already can feel like the pump in my quads. I also noticed, maybe you noticed too, but as I was doing this set, I started and I was like going back to my regular tempo. I didn't slow it down a lot, but the last 3 or 4 reps, you may notice that I took a little bit longer to come down and a little bit longer to start my upward motion. That was me consciously trying to make that switch. Again, like you practice and practice these patterns and these movements because it's very difficult when you're looking to switch things up. Like that was not a heavy set, but my quads were pumped. I'm sure you can hear I'm breathing a little bit heavier. It's all part of working out. We got to build it. We got to grow. Got to get better. See if I can set this up so you can see from a little bit of a different angle. My head's not cut off, so that's nice. All right. I'm gonna leave it at this weight again because I'm already feeling that quad pump, and I don't want to be too sore tomorrow, and I don't want to be too fatigued today. I'm coming off being sick. I need to train smarter, not harder. Whew. Very glad that I did not increase my weight. Slowed it down a little bit on that one. Really focusing on those quads, on those glutes. The connection feels so good right now. And the pump is already setting in, which scares me a little bit because next up is lunges. And lunges wreck me every single time. Doesn't matter if I do body weight, doesn't matter if I do 225 on the bar. the quad pump just gets insane. So that was 3 sets of 12. I think I'm gonna end it there for squats. We're gonna switch to some lunges now. For this one, I'm gonna use my 30-pound kettlebells. All right, so we're doing lunges. So because I don't have the space in my garage to do walking lunges, we're just gonna do stationary lunges. So 1 foot ahead of the other, get that strong stance. I'm gonna hold the kettlebells at my sides. This one is gonna just track down my quad. This one is gonna track down the side. And again, going for some higher repetitions. So I'm thinking 12 on the other leg. Here we go. Whew. That was hard. Quads are pumped. So you can see, didn't take much volume to really attack them today. That's where you have to really, you gotta learn to listen to your body and understand that, you know, if you were just sick, chances are jumping right back into it and doing what you were doing previously might be a little bit difficult, or maybe too difficult. Like if I was trying to lift what I was lifting, 2 weeks ago compared to now, never. Wouldn't be able to do it. I can just tell, like, I'm fatiguing a lot quicker today. My pump is a lot more intense today. Even crouching down like that, I feel the quads just tightening up. So really listen to your body. For this one, I might only do 2 sets. This is why I said I don't like to set a particular set range right now, because I'm getting back into it. That being said, the body bounces back quick. So, this first workout is gonna be a struggle. My second leg workout might still be a little bit of a struggle. And then usually by that third one, I feel like my body has kind of readapted to that stress and to that workout. So it becomes a lot easier. I can start increasing my weight a little bit more, focusing on that, kind of go from there. But we shall see. I don't even know if I'm gonna get 12 reps on this. That's how intense my pump is right now. Let's go. All right, on to the hamstrings. So typically, for hamstrings, it's either some sort of stiff leg deadlift for me, whether it be dumbbell stiff-legged or barbell. Today, we're gonna do some good mornings which I haven't done in a good while. So I got 25s on each side, so 95 pounds on the bar. Again, we're gonna go for 12, 15. Really try to hit those hamstrings because it's been a while for the good morning. The closer you have your feet in, the tighter it's gonna be. So I'm gonna have mine a little bit spaced more, a little bit more spaced out, just to lessen that hamstring stretch off the beginning. And then depending on how they loosen up, kind of go from there. But that first set, I don't want to overdo it, potentially pull something. So the legs are shaky. The legs are shaky. For this one too, I always start with my hands in, and then I end up having them out nice and wide. I just find this feels so much better. And then that way I'm able to kind of control the bar a little bit more and have it not roll up my neck and be stuck trying to good morning this way. So I like to try to keep it on my traps. So my grip's nice and wide. Drop it down a little bit lower, and then so slight bend in the legs, very slight, a nice stretch in those hamstrings, and then back up. That was a good first set. So I'm liking that weight. I like how it feels. Get a nice stretch in that hamstring. Then I just power it back up, driving my hips out. Just kind of like how I would with a deadlift in terms of that, the way that I hinge, right? So for like a normal deadlift, obviously I don't incorporate just a stiff leg. So when I'm deadlifting, I'm coming down a little bit more, bending the legs a little bit more. But as I drive, really like trying to push that bar, drive it into my hips, and lock out that way. So that's again what that upward motion is, where I just really try to drive those hips during the eccentric motion, where I'm lengthening. Try to do that nice and controlled. As I come up, boom, drive those hips. Awesome. So I'm not going to increase my weight just because I like how that was looking. I might bring my feet slightly in more to engage my hamstrings a little bit more. But overall, it was a really good set. I liked how it felt. So we're just going to go with this. That and my legs are quite shaky from those squats and lunges. So I don't want to overdo it. Got to keep telling myself that. Here we go. All right. Gonna hit one more set of that. Then we'll move on to the last hamstring exercise. It is so awkward walking back into the rack backwards, but I do it for you. Make sure to subscribe. Give it a like. All right, I'm going to set up for the last hamstring exercise. Now I will see you for that. All right, so last exercise for the hamstrings. Here we go. So because I don't have a leg curl machine, any fancy things like that, I'm going to use a good old-fashioned looped resistance band. So the looped ones, it's just a full circle, so it's not like a double-ended one. So I'm going to use the purple one because all my bands I leave in the garage. They're pretty frozen, so even this purple one is feeling pretty stiff. For this one, because it's resistance bands, and as well, to set this up, it's kind of awkward. So I like to do high repetitions just to really burn it out. So just bring them in just like you normally would. I like to get the full extension, even though there's not really any resistance at this point. So I like to just have that motion, bring them back in, okay? And for this one, I'm looking at anywhere between like 20 and 30 reps. And we're gonna just pump this out. Here we go. All right. 20 reps. Normally for an exercise like that, I would probably do 30 reps, but man, as a sweet contraction, definitely was feeling it, doing that extra, trying to get those heels right to the butt, essentially. Even though I wasn't, that was the intention. Squeezing those hamstrings as hard as I can. Each time, just being very present in that motion. Very important to get that mind-muscle connection so that you are actually working what you should be working, and you're engaging what you should be engaging. And that's just gonna make your exercises that much more effective, really get that muscle growth. So we're gonna do one more set of that, see how I feel. I'm not gonna lie, even though it was lightweight on those good mornings, my lower back lately has been bothering me, and I'm assuming that it's because I've switched so I've recently changed jobs. My job now requires me to sit a lot during the day, and I find I've noticed that my lower back is getting more tight, which is why I've been incorporating some more mobility. Even throughout the day, I like to try to get some sort of stretching in. And then I've also been incorporating walking on the treadmill, not after every workout. Again, it depends how tired I am. I really try to listen to my body as much as possible, but at the same time, you do have to realize that you do need to get uncomfortable. You need to push yourself a little bit so that you can actually grow and progress. But there is a difference between progressive overload and slowly building up versus just diving into it, killing yourself in the workout. That is not necessarily a good indication that it was an effective workout. So, listen to your body. Really try to be in tune with that. Understand how you're feeling. Understand your limitations. So right now, my back has started to stiffen up on that second set of good mornings. So even doing these leg extensions, at one point you might see me shift in my seat. And that was because my lower back was actually starting to bother me a little bit more. So I just drove it back into that seat to try to disengage that a little bit more. But at the same time, it still requires some core strength to sit down while something's pulling you the opposite direction. So again, I don't know if I'm going to do 3 sets. We'll see how my back feels after this one. Engage from there. It's all feeling it out, seeing what your limitations are. So let's go. I kind of rested a little bit too long for this one because, again, I wanted to be able to talk to you and really explain why my workout looks the way it looks. But here we go. So I did 20 reps the last set. So we're going to aim for 20 again. I'm not going to push for 30 unless I'm feeling really good, but I doubt that will happen today. So we will see. Ooh. Hamstrings were on fire. It was a great set. Lower back actually felt really good that time. So this time, right out the gate, when I started this exercise, press my back right into that. Try to disengage. Don't have like an arch in the back. That helped a lot. So I might do one last set. Not going to rest as long this time. I'm going to do one more set and just go for as many as I can, because I don't know that I will get 20, because at the end of that set, holy smokes. You know, I don't know if you've experienced that hamstring pump to the point where like every contraction, every time you're contracting, almost feels like you're going to like pop. Hamstrings are just going to like explode on you. But that is how that those last 5 reps felt. So we will see. We're going to start the set now. So a much shorter rest this time. We're just going to bang it out. Shit. Ooh. Ooh. Awesome. All right. Hamstrings are done. Quads are done. All right. Last exercise of this workout. So it is calves. So I'm just going to do some standing calf raises with the barbell on my back. Again, this is one of those ones that I am not a fan of doing in my garage, because I don't have like a proper platform to stand on and really get like a nice stretch in the calves. So I feel like I'm almost doing like half reps. Still contract very well. I've done where I've stacked plates before, but honestly, it's just a pain in the butt. So I'm just going to do them standing. For this, so I've got 185 standing, and we're just going to calf raise it up. Least favorite body part to hit. Got to be my least favorite. One, my calves suck. They've gotten a lot bigger since I've gained a ton of weight, but they're one of those things that as a teenager and like when I started training, I'd never hit legs, first of all. So doing calf raises was not a thing. I was very active, played a lot of sports. That was pretty much the only exercise those calves got, but it's just sports related. Now that I've went from 140 pounds or less when I actually started working out, now I'm around 245, 250. So gained a ton of weight, and my calves have honestly exploded compared to where they were. They're still a very self-conscious body part for me. They have gotten better, but I just hate working them. The contraction, like the actual movement itself and the contraction is so intense for the calf because it's just so, it's so isolated that it's just painful for me. Then as well, I find I've tried doing low repetitions with heavy weight, and I've tried doing high repetitions with moderate weight or light weight. And I find my calves seem to adapt much more doing higher repetitions with a little bit lighter weight as opposed to the other option. So I do high repetitions. Again, anywhere between 12, 15, sometimes even 20. I've also done occlusion training or BFR training, blood flow restriction, where you tie off just like above the quad, so like right in that kind of the groin area, to allow the blood flow to get in, but then it's slower to release, and that just drives a little bit more blood into that muscle and really gets the pump going a little bit more. And I did see some decent results with that. I might start incorporating that again. We'll see. But that was a lot quicker. I could use a lot lighter weight, but dang, pump was even more brutal than what it is now. So I'm a little nervous. I also forgot how many reps I've done so far. So we're just gonna keep repping it out. Calves are on fire. Set number 2 done. Because I'm only doing one exercise of this, we're gonna hit 3 sets. Got one more set to go. Still sipping on the coffee. Made a pretty good dent in it. Also been chugging quite a bit of water. That's the thing, like beginning of my workout, because it takes my body so much longer to warm up in here because of the temperature, I find I forget to drink water at the beginning. During the summertime, it's like insanely hot in here. I usually have my Mammoth mug, and I will crush that completely, potentially even another liter of water on top of that. But during the winter, the colder months, not the case. So I gotta be very mindful of how much fluids I'm taking in, as to not neglect that. Here we go. So that is it for the leg workout. I'm gonna jump on the treadmill. I'm gonna do 20 minutes, just slow walking. So normally on this, I have it at a 6-7 incline. And then leg day, to be honest, I walk at a pretty slow pace. Usually at like a 2.7, maybe a 2.8, depending on how my legs feel. So again, nothing insane, just like slow, steady pace, decent incline, just to get that movement in. But yeah, I'm not gonna bore you with the cardio. So again, I do 20 minutes. Hopefully you like this workout. I actually did enjoy filming this one, being able to talk to you, kind of walk you through my workout. Hopefully it was a little bit more entertaining. I hopefully will build the courage to maybe do a mic'd up gym session. It's very hard though, because they tend to have the music very loud. There's a ton of people, and I don't know who wants to be who is okay with being filmed, who's not okay with being filmed. So I don't like having a bunch of people in the background walking around if they're not comfortable being in a video. And with the music pumping, I tend to get copyright hits all the time. Then I have to change it, I have to mute it, I have to add in just like some cheap royalty-free music in placement of that, and it's just kind of a pain in the butt. But I'm hoping that with the mics, maybe it'll negate that a little bit. We'll see. But for now, garage workout it is. Let me know if you like this. Leave a comment down below if you want to see more videos like this one. Make sure to give this a like, subscribe, and until next time, peace. 20 minutes done.